Your teammates are going to be the most important thing as you become a Sabre into the future and the different opportunities that we have. And being a good teammate is something we're going to be watching out for, number one. Be a good teammate this week. If you're a guy who's back for the second or third time, help the other guys, as you've already heard from Steve. And have a smile in your heart as you go through all these different opportunities to learn and grow, and we look forward to getting to know you better. So have a good week, guys. Have fun. And to the staff, thank everybody for the support that you're going to be giving them here. And we begin a new season, and whether you become a part of this one or the next one or the next one, right now, starting now, it's up to you and what you do with the tools you have. So use them.
All right. Welcome to the show. A very lonely show today as we open the show. Craig Rivet, I think he got stuck in the bathroom, so I don't know where he is, but we're going to wait on him. And that was head coach Ralph Kruger addressing the young prospects as they roll into town yesterday and get ready for 2019 Sabres Development Camp, which opens today. And we'll be down there tomorrow at the Harbor Center taking in the prospects from 10 to noon here on WGR 550 and MSG. Twitter is open at the Instigators if you want to get involved in our conversation today. Lots to talk about. Some prospects here worth mentioning. Tage Thompson, one of them. I think this is a discussion that I think a lot of us will want to have. I know Craig will be interested in this simply because Tage Thompson spent the whole year here last year. And normally players, I'll be honest with you, they work to get out of prospect development camp. So, you know, like there's a sigh of relief as a player when you don't have to go in the middle of the summer, you know, to Buffalo or to wherever your team is and do your summer development camp. So there's something to be said for that. And Tage Thompson being here, I think is a great thing for Tage Thompson. And I hope he recognizes and understands that, because that's something that I know that we'll discuss. Marty Biron talked about it yesterday a little bit off the air when we heard about Tage Thompson coming, and shared an interesting story about himself and perspective and how to go about, I guess, going through these development camps. And I don't want to say in a situation like Tage Thompson, but I'll say in a situation like Tage Thompson, because there's multiple mindsets that a young player like this can have. One of them being, I don't want to be here. Why should I be here? And is that right? Look who joins us. He didn't want to be here, but he has to be here contractually.
I didn't want to be here.
I said you got locked in the bathroom, but I know that Tim Hortons drive-through was a little bit longer than usual today. Craig, I hope these young prospects are more prepared today for the opening of their development camp than you are for this show. But I was just talking to myself about Tage Thompson, and the I guess probably the most interesting prospect here, because he spent the whole year here last year, right? So
no question.
So I was just saying, and I don't know if you heard it, but I was just saying that there's a mindset for players coming to prospect camp or development camp. You want to call it development camp. So yesterday we had Dylan Cousins on. You know, he's super excited to be here. There are other guys that probably might not feel they have to be here. And I'm not saying that is Tage Thompson's mindset. I'm just saying that it's not uncommon for that to be the mindset. So this is a real test for him this week. And I say that because I think Jason Botterill knows, and coaches know, and everyone knows how players think and how young players think, and how players that have been in the league for a year might think about coming to development camp. And I think it's an opportunity for him to step up and show a leadership role, show a work ethic role. But I would definitely say that he is the quote unquote man at the camp.
Most definitely, he is certainly eyebrow raising when you see Tage Thompson here at this camp. Generally, a lot of these players are first year, second year, third year guys that have played in the minors, guys that are, you know, obviously continuing to work on their skill set to try and make the National Hockey League. That being said, this camp is going to be made up of first-year guys like Dylan Cousins, who is going to feel nervous. He's going to feel some nerves coming in here. It's a new environment, and I think players like Tage are now on the other end of the spectrum where they're there to guide and show these young players.
But they have to come in with that mindset, right? And I'm not saying he doesn't have it. His father, okay, I played against his father.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I know and you don't have to worry about with Tage Thompson is this exact scenario. I think his father's saying you go there, you smile, you work your ass off, and then you come back and you put the work in back home here and enjoy the summer, wherever you're going to enjoy the summer, while also putting the work in. I don't see this as being an issue. In fact, I view this differently. And
is this a message?
I don't know.
Is there an underlying message?
I don't know if there's an underlying message or not. And if there is, great. And if there is, I would have to say loud and clear. But also, yeah, the message should be, we want you to be as ready as possible coming into this season because you have a huge opportunity. So if they're doing anything for Tage Thompson, in my opinion, they're doing him a favor. Now, if I were this player, I wouldn't view it as doing a favor, view it as doing me a favor. I would view it the exact opposite. I would view it as a disruption to my personal life, if you will. But again, it's all in how the player, accepts it. And I have to imagine that GM and player had a conversation.
Nylander here?
My computer just shut down on me. Actually. Is he here? I looked at I didn't see his name on the list.
No, I don't believe he is. There's, is Casey Middlestad here?
No, he's not here.
They're the same age. Listen, I mean, I think when you look at this, it's a message to Tage Thompson that this year for him is a big year. I think that he has a tremendous amount of skill set. I've said that all along. As soon as he came here, he has a great frame. He's got a great skill set. He's got a great mindset for the game. He needs to continue to build his body. That being said, this is a little bit of a wake-up call here. This is a little bit of a wake-up call from the management of this hockey team saying, listen, Tage, we need you to be at your best come October when you start the season. Yeah. And it's going to start now. So you're going to come to this camp. You're going to guide these young players because you have been through it multiple times before. And you're going to use this time to continue to build your development. That's what I see this is from. And I'm sure that Tage Thompson is maybe not the happiest with being called into the ultimate rookie camp in July, the end of June. I don't think he's very happy coming here. But that being said, that's probably why they brought him here. They want him to continue to develop. They want to make him feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I think this is going to be a great thing for Tage.
Yeah,
and it's a great thing for the younger guys.
That's it, there.
That have a chance to kind of be around Tage Thompson.
And that's the other thing too. I remember coming to camp, and I remember that one of the things that was so cool was being around other prospects. Marty was one of them when I was 18 years old. Darren Van Owen, who was Corey Sarich. These guys were all Rochester-bound first, second rounders. When I came in, and then there were guys that had played games in the NHL, and you look at them in awe because they're right there. They're on the fringe. Now, Tage Thompson's not on the cusp of making the NHL. He spent the whole season here last year, but he's on the cusp of maybe becoming that next level player versus maybe just kind of slowly coming along. And I think there's as you mentioned, huge, no pun intended with his size, but just an enormous upside, and there's so much potential, to get this kid going.
And the key word's potential, right? The key word what you're saying is potential. We continue to talk about, Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Rasmus Dahlin, Casey Middlestad. Tage Thompson should not and will not be forgotten. He is a work in progress. He's a very young hockey player, but I'm going to tell you this. He has the capabilities of having success in this league. It's going to take him a little bit of time. He still has to mature physically as a player. He's got all the tools and the skill set to do it, but he's got to start to just slowly round them out and put them together. And this is probably a start. This is what the Sabres, they're not doing this to hurt him. They're doing this because they feel that this is
100%.
going to be something that is going to benefit him and his development. They get to keep an eye on him, bring him in June and say, hey, what do you look like? How is his shape? How is his strength going? He gets to talk with all the trainers here from Buffalo, and they can kind of pull him aside of the pack and say, how are things going? Where are we at with this? Show me what you've been doing. Show me what weights you're doing. Show me what you're, they get to kind of spend
Monitor.
a little bit. Monitor.
And they
spend a
should
little bit of
want to
time.
monitor. This is they moved a big piece to bring him in. He was a key young piece to that O'Reilly deal. And that's the other thing, too, I want to mention is that I hope that O'Reilly's success this year with the St. Louis Blues doesn't put pressure on Tage Thompson.
It shouldn't.
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because you always hear about the guys, he was traded Gretzky for Vopod. And actually, you had Ryan Johnson on yesterday. His dad was traded in the Gretzky trade. I mean, so you just wonder what kind of pressure that adds to a player. And that shouldn't add to a player because Tage Thompson and Ryan O'Reilly are totally different. They're totally different. They're at different stages of their career. And quite frankly, Tage Thompson, I hope this kid knows his upside. I really do. And that's why you want...
He's going to be a 20-goal scorer in this league all day long. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mark my words. I think Tage Thompson has the skill set. He's a really nice skater for a 6'5". He just needs to continue to build his body so he's a little bit quicker. He's a little bit stronger in the corners. I mean, he like I said, we're talking about development camp. Well, now you know why Tage Thompson's here, because he's in a very key development stage of his career, and they want to monitor him. I think this is great for Tage Thompson to be here.